So I'm Matt, we are Verity, and we are reinventing trust for the blockchain age. Verity is a blockchain-enabled reputation API. What that means is that we are looking to take data from websites, from applications, from companies, and we are trying to figure out what are your values, what are your skills, and how can you use that to make sure that the users on your application or the people you're hiring have are the right ones for your application or company. So there's an old model of trust where trust was very centralized, where it was siloed within each individual app, each individual company, and it was basically all that data was owned by corporations, and they could monetize it in sometimes less than ethical ways. And we are trying to change that. We are trying to make a decentralized model where the trust and the information and the reputation is shared among all the applications, and the users can choose to expose that when they want to. So let's give an example of this with one of our partners, Teacher. Teacher is trying to create a new form of decentralized accreditation. They're trying to create a $1,000 college degree. In order to make this decentralized model of trust, in the traditional model, you would sign up, you would get an account. Your account would then be owned by Teacher. But because Teacher is integrated with us, they can just do a few lines of code, and your identity is then on the blockchain. So this student, Mercy, can sign up, and at some point in the future, if she is not wanting to trust Teacher, or not wanting to trust us, she can claim that identity for herself and take it where she wants to go. She owns it, she controls it, it's not in the hands of Teacher. Similarly, let's say Mercy is getting a credential. She's trying to get a degree on Teacher. In the old model, Teacher would be holding that degree. You would have to go onto the website to find out about it. You would have to you'd have to go to some university to figure out if this person was right. In the new model, again, this is on the blockchain. Mercy can take this data, Mercy owns this data, and Mercy can expose this data to who she wants to expose it to. Now the real interesting thing that happens is when you take all this data and you run it through our algorithms, you can choose as a community what skills do we value, what values do we value, and all the data from all the websites are run through our algorithms and end up with a score that tells you what are Mercy's values and skills for the thing that she wants. So imagine if you could run organizations where it was based on real trust, on real skills, on the real outcomes that people had done in their previous jobs, in the previous in their previous education institutions, and all of that information was accessible and exposable to anybody. You know, resumes would be a thing of the past. You can do really, really interesting stuff when you start getting the expert data from all the people, and you make it universal. You can do stuff like create decentralized autonomous organizations where you don't have a hiring manager. You have the values and skills that you need, and people can just show up, and our algorithms will make sure that they're the right people for the job. You can do stuff like creating an expert database of the world's best experts everywhere, and you can point them towards the world's most pressing problems. Really crazy, you know, this is stuff I only talk about when I've had a few drinks or something, but you could change corporate governance, or you could change government governance when you have real information like this. So that's what Verity is, that's what we do, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Can you describe your consensus algorithm?
Yeah, so I can briefly describe. We've got two algorithms. The skill score here is based on a contest model. You're entering into contests to try and see who is providing the best value for this community. What are the goals of this community? What are the skills used towards these goals? And the people who are most providing value to the community earn reputation. And over time, the reputation flows away from the people who are performing less well in those contests towards the people who are performing more well. That's one of the algorithms that does what we're talking about here. Yes.
On the flip side, if you're trying to get a job and it's run you through all these algorithms, does it come back and say, you need to go get all this other training before you can apply to that job?
Yeah, wouldn't it be great if you knew before you applied to the job what skills you actually needed, and you knew exactly what skills and you knew the training you needed? That's what it does.
Create a curriculum for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So you guys don't have a coin or a token yet.
That's correct.
Can you explain what the utility of the token will be? Like, how will that be used?
We may not ever have a token.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
You said you own your own data. I'm curious, if you take the profile off of your platform, what can somebody do with that? Like, is there a way to utilize that some other way?
Say again?
You said that when you have your profile information,
Right.
you have ownership over it,
Right.
and you can like take it away, like restrict access from you and what other companies there are.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that a user can do with that, or is it basically?
Yeah, so if you wanted to, you could go create your own Verity network and create your own reputation network and start over because you don't trust our network or you don't trust us. And that's something that you're allowed to do. And if at some point Verity does something that angers the community, a bunch of community members can get together and do that. Yeah?
Is there a business model you have in mind for this, or is this open source? Or?
Yes. So there's two basic business models. One is our API. So it's very, very hard to get on the blockchain right now. Web 2.0 companies are having a lot of issues with it. And so they can use our API, and it gets them onto the blockchain right away, and we'll charge for that because they're not interacting directly with the thing. The other thing is the Verity network. So I was just talking about you can go create your own network. If you want to be part of our reputation network and get sort of this universal benefit of being able to interact with all the other apps, then you have to pay for community access. If you want to be in a community and be able to hire people using this model, et cetera, you're going to have to pay a little bit to do that.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Do you